Water is an essential service. It's like electricity, it's like gas. We have a lot of laws around how and when you can shut off someone's electricity or gas because we understand that you need those things to live, to be warm. Water is the same way. You can't live without water. Last year, DC Water decided to start disconnecting multifamily apartment buildings that had a delinquent water balance.
Mr. Hoskins is a tenant who did everything right. He paid his rent, he paid his bills. Under the terms of his lease, his landlord was required to pay the water bill for the building, and the costs of that water were incorporated into his rent, which he was paying.
Mr. Hoskins' water was turned off through no fault of his own. In his lease, it says that he's not responsible for the water.
If he had a water bill, he would pay it. But he never saw a water bill, so he had no idea what was going on.
When they cut the water off, I was super surprised because I was always told as long as I pay my rent, the water would be on. So when it first was cut off, I was kind of shocked. I came in and I went to go wash my hands. I said, oh, maybe the water is just something going on. And then I went outside and I saw the notice on the door that said, hey, the water is shut off due to non-payment.
Legal Aid took on Mr. Hoskins' case because it's a blatant injustice. He was doing everything right. He paid his bills. He did all that he was required to do under his lease. And nevertheless, he was not getting what he paid for. It's a simple proposition that you should get what you paid for.
When my water was off, I was not able to do even the basic essentials, like washing dishes, washing my kids' clothes for daycare, brushing my teeth, like minuscule things like flushing your toilet. You never know how essential your water is or how until you lose that.
Because his water was turned off, not only was he unable to bathe in his apartment, cook, clean, all the things that you think about that you use water to do, drink, use the bathroom, he also really couldn't take his parenting time with his kids.
When it was off, it was a lot of problems as far as washing my kids and bathing them, and my father would be able to attest to, like, I would come down to his house to let them take a bath and shower and stuff.
Alex has a pretty good support team between myself, his mom, and lots of other people that want to help him. He's got a great attitude, he's a good guy, and just people want to help him.
At the end of Mr. Hoskins' case, the landlord did pay the water bill, and because of how long the case had to drag on, she was held in contempt, and he received 6 months of rent abatement as sanctions.
As a result of Mr. Hoskins' case and cases like his and the publicity that his case was able to get in the media, we did see the council take action, and Councilmember Charles Allen introduced legislation that would meaningfully address the issue and make sure that tenants would not be negatively affected by their landlord's failure to pay water bills.
The legislation was necessary because too many people were facing these cutoffs. We need a much more fair, just, transparent system that makes sure that people aren't left out in the cold, people have water, people have services, and the legislation helps do that.
I'm a lawyer, so this is what I do. But for our clients, this is one part of their life, and they have a lot of other things going on. He has 4 kids, he has a job, he has family, and it really just shows the strength of his character to stand up, not just for himself, but for other tenants in the same position.
I think it's critical for Mr. Hoskins and anybody else experiencing this to speak up, because as a council member, I know a lot of things. I don't know everything. And so hearing that story, hearing the impact of policy decisions really matter.
I just want to say thank you to Megan Browder for helping me and just taking me through the whole process from start to finish, because if it wasn't for her, my water, I probably still wouldn't have water now. So I just want to say thank you to Legal Aid very much so.